Hello everyone and welcome to race number 25 of 29 here in the 1990 throwbacks. Bill Elliott and Alan Kulwicki are still locked in a dogfight for the championship as that points lead has virtually moved not at all over the past few races. We are heading now, however, to one of the most notorious tracks for attrition, the North Wilkesboro Speedway. This has been a track that is usually littered with cautions, and drivers are going to have to be extra careful around this very rough 5/8 of a mile oval. And this has been a usually really difficult track for championship contenders. There have been some years where championship hopes have come here and died. Most notably, Neil Bonnet in 1985 really struggled at this race, and accordingly, he would end up losing the championship, going in a downward spiral. Ricky Rudd appears to have the pole today, and that's going to set off what should be at least somewhat of an intriguing race. So your top 10 in qualifying order: Ricky Rudd is on the pole, Rusty Wallace is in second, Bill Elliott, your points leader, in third, Darrell Waltrip in fourth, Kyle Petty with a very good starting position in fifth, Mark Martin sixth, Davey Allison, who has had a really strong run here down the stretch, he'll be rolling off in seventh, Jeff Bodine rolling off in eighth, Tim Richmond ninth, and Alan Kulwicki second in points. He'll be rolling off in the 10th position. It should be noted here that Ricky Rudd has yet to win this season, and Jeff Bodine got his first win of the year last week at Martinsville in what was a pretty thrilling race. Here's the command for today's race. The engines have fired here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway as the cars come off. They'll be going 2 by 2. As everyone gets ready for this very grueling 100 lap race. They come off of turn number 4, come down to the line. The green flag is out here for the Tyson Holly Farms 400. And Ken Schrader looks like he's already having problems. He's drifted way back. Got caught in the middle. Meanwhile, up front, look who makes a jump down to the inside early on. Elliott wasting no time to grab the lead. He knows that if you want to be successful here, you got to be up front. You do not want to waste any time being side by side with somebody. Now, here was the winner in the spring North Wilkesboro race, the first Union 400. This is Rusty Wallace, and he's had a lot of success at this track. The caution flag is out. Rodney Coombs and Jeff Purvis seem to be involved in this one. My bet is going to be on Jeff Purvis being involved up here. Yep, there he goes. Off the inside wall. Comes back out onto the track and nowhere for those drivers to go. Lake Speed, Richard Petty, JD McDuffie also being involved there, but Rodney Coombs obviously getting the worst of it. This is going to lead the leaders down pit road. We'll see who's able to win the race off pit road here. Not Elliott. It's going to be Darrell Waltrip that's going to lead him off pit road. Waltrip, of course, it was announced earlier on in the season that he will be keeping the 17 Chevrolet, but he will be moving to an owner-driver operation for 1991. He is no longer going to be racing for Rick Hendrick, but he's going to keep at least the car number and the manufacturer. Problems for Elliott. He's back on pit road. Uh-oh. Is this a sign of Elliott maybe starting to wither away at another championship? You know, being caught in the back here, it can be a death sentence. You can see Davey Allison is also on pit road. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Elliott's, I'm guessing he was serving a stop and go penalty. I'm not 100% sure what the point of that was. Allison is still on pit road. But with Elliott coming down pit road, that is going to open the door wide open for Elliott and Kulwicki. Not just to have a big advantage, but that's going to open up the door for Elliott and Kulwicki to have potentially the points lead at the end of the day. Right now, Kulwicki running 12th. Elliott is being scored in... trying to figure out where he's being scored. Here he is. He's looping through the scoring now. Joining the tail end of this pack. Oh, he's back down on pit road again. I'm really confused as to what's going on with the 9 team now. But they are still on the lead lap. Yeah, I'm really confused as to what was going on there. So the 9 and the 28, they are still on the lead lap, but they were on pit road. Your top 10 is going to be Darrell Waltrip, Ricky Rudd, Kyle Petty, Rusty Wallace, Tim Richmond, Phil Parsons, who had a great run, who's been having some good runs lately, Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Bodine, and Rick Mass will round out the top 10. The wounded Lake Speed car is going to line up on the inside. He's the only car still running one lap down. The 52 and the 89 both took it behind the wall. They are out. Everyone else is on the lead lap and still running. The green flag is back out here, lap number 7. That was only the first of many. You know, there could be as many as 10, 12, 14 cautions today. Elliott's going to have to be very, very careful. He's going to have to dodge all of the basically buckshot that's going to be happening here at this track. Meanwhile, Darrell Waltrip, he continues to hold firm. Kyle Petty having a very good run today, currently up in the 3rd position. Trying to hold off former Winston Cup champion Tim Richmond behind him. Caution flag is out. And that's Elliott involved. Oh no. Looks like the wreck happened in front of Elliott. Trying to get turned back around. Nowhere to go. Yeah, he had the brakes locked up. There's really nothing that Elliott could do. Here's the main incident. I think the Mickey Gibbs here just pushes up the track. He gets into the 88. Everyone else does a good job of avoiding it. But Elliott, unfortunately, is going to be victimized. And that's going to be the end of Elliott's day, I think. Elliott is gone. He is going to finish 39th. That's it. That opens That opens the door. Alan Kulwicki is going to have the points lead at the end of this race if he finishes. Because if he finishes, he's going to be in the top 10. Yep. How many points is Elliott going to earn there? Well, he led, so he's going to have 5 bonus points. So 34. So what are you going to have here? 37, 40, 43, 46. So 51 points. Add on the 89. Alan Kulwicki is only going to have to accrue 140 points in this race in order to take over the points lead. Now, that might sound like a lot, and it kind of is, but it isn't as much as you probably think. Kyle Petty now down on pit road. So, Alan Kulwicki is only going to have to get 140. So what are we going to have here? 175, 170, 165, 160. If Alan Kulwicki doesn't get any bonus points, he's going to have to finish 9th in order to take over the points lead. If he does lead a lap, he can finish in 10th and still take over the points lead. So that's where Alan Kulwicki stands. He's got to finish, if he finishes 9th or better today, he will take over the points lead after an early race incident has knocked Elliott from the field. I think this happens every year with Elliott too. He always runs into problems here at the Fall North Wilkesboro race. It's crazy. He's been hanging in with Alan Kulwicki, this owner-driver from Wisconsin. Now all of a sudden, maybe in the driver's seat to win the 1990 Throwbacks Championship, which would just be incredible if he could pull that off. He's in the position to do it. I don't know if he can. Leaders are coming down. Your leader is 26, Ricky Rudd. Green flag is back out. Oh, Richard Petty, Dale Jarrett in the wall. You had the 3 of Earnhardt. He got hung up back there. They're on 3 wide now. Caution flag is, of course, out. Let's see him race back to the line. 17. Wow. Looks like most of these wrecks usually happen towards the back, and here you go. JD McDuffie gets turned around. Rusty Wallace doing a great job keeping himself clean. Same thing with Kyle Petty. Both of them doing a great job keeping themselves clean there. Now only a few cars opt to come down pit road. Darrell Waltrip is one of them. We'll have to see how the top 10 looks like after this. You'll see a couple of lap cars. They're going to pull down out of line here, and they'll opt to go down pit road, obviously. North Wilkesboro's had some historically crazy finishes and some historically crazier top 5s and top 10s. And it just adds to the chaotic behavior of this race. And the top 10 that you're about to see is going to be absolutely no exception to that. Okay, so Ricky Rudd is in the lead, Mark Martin second, Morgan Shepherd third, Taylor and Hart fourth. That's all pretty normal. Rick Maston fifth. He's over his head. Kulwicki sixth, Terry Labonte seventh, Irvin eighth. But now we got Ron Moroso in ninth, Derek Cope in 10th, Eddie Bierschwale in 11th. That's three drivers that you don't typically see anywhere near the front. And here they are. They're up near the front. As of right now, Alan Kulwicki will have a 10-point lead on Bill Elliott coming out of this race. If the race were to end now, Alan Kulwicki has a 10-point lead on Bill Elliott. 2 more laps of yellow. 10 points, wow. I mean, that's what I said when I heard this. I mean, 10-point lead. That's what it's going to be for Kulwicki coming out of this race. Kulwicki and Elliott have been locked in this struggle pretty much since the beginning of the summer. They've been very, very close in points. Kulwicki's been getting the wins, but he's been a little bit more inconsistent than Elliott, who's been getting just a ton of finishes in the top 5. But this is actually going to be the first race that Bill Elliott has failed to finish all season long. So that's another layer to add, that Elliott, this is actually going to be the first time that Elliott has failed to even finish a race all year. Just a testament to just how consistent they've been running. If Alan Kulwicki can get a top 10 today, he'll reach 20 top 10s. And if he gets a top 10 in every race for the rest of the season, he will have a chance to tie the record set by Tim Richmond back in 1988, 24 top 10s in a season. Green flag is out. You can see Mash trying to block Kulwicki, and that was a great move there by Rudd, being able to jump out in front of everyone. That was just a great move there by Rudd, being able to jump out. Gotta watch out for the back of the pack scramblings. 3 wide back there. And racing at this track gets so aggressive. I'm watching the back of the pack, and there we go. Tim Richmond is around. Oh boy. Caution. Tim Richmond is around. Well, let's see what triggered this one. Teammates. Kulwicki off pit road first. No. That will be 5 bonus points for Alan Kulwicki. So if that means, no, it is not. Chad Little opted to stay out, so he is the leader. But if the race were to end now, Kulwicki now has a 30-point lead over Elliott. We're a quarter of the way done here at North Wilkesboro. The leader of the race is the person you see on the screen right now, number 19, Chad Little. Sophomore driver last year, driving for Junie Don Levy Racing. Didn't do half bad. Couldn't find a ride, so his dad ended up funding a team for him. He's been able to drive. And he's been roughly around 25th in points for most of the season. Shuffling between 25th and 30th. So he really hasn't been the most relevant driver in the series. But he has shown flashes of how good he can be. And this is a track where how good your car is how good your equipment is doesn't necessarily equate to how fast you are. So this will be a track that Chad Little should be able to shine a little bit at. You take a look at the top 10, I think that pretty much just confirms what I just said. Chad Little in the lead, Alan Kulwicki in second, Phil Parsons third, Brett Bodine fourth, Mark Martin fifth, Derek Cope sixth, Rob Moroso in seventh, Dick Trickle eighth, Ernie Irvin ninth, and Rick Mast in 10th. Now, I hesitate to call Rick Mast one of these people that we don't typically see up front because he's got 2 career wins. He's won at Sonoma and he's won at Talladega. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He's won at Sears Point, he's won at Talladega, so clearly Mast is doing something right. In fact, he became the first rookie to win a race since Davey Allison won at Michigan in 1987, and only the second rookie in the entirety of the 1980s to win a race. The green flag is out. Little's going to be able to pull away a little bit here. Oh, watch out. Gant is a lap down. Davey Allison's going to get clear. He's back on the lead lap. Caution flag is back out. Here comes Kulwicki. Chad Little can't fend him off. That's 5 bonus points for Alan Kulwicki. Points lead is now 40 if he can hold it. Lake Speed turned around with Dick Trickle. I'm surprised that didn't cause a gigantic pileup, but just a large slowdown. Trying to see if Alan's... No? So is Alan still the leader? I think he is. Unless Eddie Bierschwill's the leader, which I think he's a lap down. Nope, Eddie Bierschwill is the leader. So Eddie Bierschwill is now leading here at North Wilkesboro. This has actually been a track that Bierschwill really likes. He's actually had a lot of top 10 finishes here. I think he's got 3 top 10 finishes here, and he hasn't necessarily ever had the equipment to do it. So this is actually a very good track for Eddie. And he's looking to have yet another very strong performance here at North Wilkesboro. The top 10 seemingly looking more foreign every single caution. Bierschwale in the lead, Kulwicki second, Jeff Bodine third, Michael Waltrip fourth, not Daryl, Michael Waltrip fourth, Phil Parsons fifth, Derek Cope in sixth, Ron Moroso seventh, Rick Mast eighth, Brett Bodine in ninth, and rounding out the top 10, Mark Martin. That's how we're running after 32 laps have been completed in this 100 lap affair. Well, we still have 36 cars on the track, 30 of which are on the lead lap. So cars are still here. Cars are still here, cars are still on the track. We haven't really had the massive accident that wipes out 15 cars. Everyone's been doing not a bad job of avoiding accidents. Everyone now lining up on the inside. Again, 30 cars are shown on the lead lap, 6 cars shown 1 lap down. Boy, would Dale Earnhardt like to get his lap back. We'll see if he can do such a thing. The only cars that have wrecked out, Jimmy Spencer, Bobby Hillen, Bill Elliott, Jack Pennington, Jeff Purvis, and Rodney Coombs. The green flag is back out. Man, Kulwicki wants that lead. He's wasting no time. He gets right on the bumper of the 90. Lap car is going to get in the way. 3 wide. Are you kidding me? With a championship on the line, no way is Kulwicki going to let up. New leader, number 7, Alan Kulwicki. New leader. Caution flag is out. All sorts. This is the big pile up. Oh boy, we've got massive problems here. Davey Allison, Tim Richmond, all that stuff. That's going to take out a lot of cars. The wreck's already happening in front of them. Oh, good lord. Okay, I don't even know how we're going to be able to do this. I'm going to go to a copter cam, and we're going to do this in slow motion. Okay. So here's the 3. He goes sliding. Now there is another wreck that happens back here. Oh, Dick Trickle ends up T-boning Dale Earnhardt. Richmond goes into him. There goes the 32. And this is just a chain reaction. Everyone trying to get slowed down. Noting both of those were passenger side impacts. And I hope Ruttman and Lamani are going to be okay. But definitely a huge pile up here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. I will definitely take some cars out of the race. Huge pile up. Boy, Alan Kulwicki seems to get shafted every single time he goes down pit road. New leader, Ken Schrader. Man. Kulwicki can't buy the lead. Every single time he gets the lead, caution comes out, someone passes him under caution. Lots of cars being added to the wrecker there. It looks like only 17 cars are going to be registered on the lead lap now. Only 17 cars being registered on the lead lap now. Bierschwell's gone. There's going to be 16 cars now, with Bierschwell being gone. Wallace is going to be gone. That's the big accident right there. Yup, that was the huge accident. Now there's only going to be 26 cars on the track, with 16 of them being on the lead lap. And Alan Kulwicki just needs to finish 9th. And he will leave this race with the points lead. Pace car pulls in as they're getting ready to go back green on lap number 42. And the green flag is back out. Can Alan Kulwicki run down Ken Schrader now? Schrader is winless on the season. And of course, we got the news that Schrader is actually going to stay on Hendrick Motorsports. He will take over the number 5 team, as Terry Labonte will go over to the number 94 team with Billy Hagan. Ricky Rudd, he was in the lead in this race at one point. Now he's one lap down in the 18th position. Looks like Rudd is going to try to get his lap back. And now here comes Rick Mast is trying to get his 2nd win of the year. If he can do that. Oh, something happened there. Is the caution flag out? Still green. So Rick Mast, currently in 2nd now. Everyone might be running down that 7 car. He's really not taking a good line. Here comes Ernie Irvin. Derek Cope getting in the wall back there. Irvin looks all sorts of beat up, but man, Kulwicki's not exactly looking like the fastest car on the track. Here comes Brett Bodine in the 75 car. Bodine in the 75. There we go. The two brothers racing door to door against each other, and neither of them are giving an inch. Who's the better one? Can you tell from this angle? I don't know. I think it's really impressive that Jeff Bodine's been able to hang on that outside lane as much as he has been. Man, Brett almost putting his brother in the wall there. A definite brotherly rivalry going on there. Brett's going to end up winning that, and Brett Bodine's going to put himself in the 5th position. Alan Kulwicki trying to take over 2nd from Rick Mast. And Rick is trying to hold on that outside lane as well. Can't do it. Now can Kulwicki take over the lead? That's the big pressing question. If Kulwicki takes over the lead, I don't think anyone in the top 10 will be able to beat him. The only person that's even on the track right now that can beat him is Ricky Rudd. And he is registered 17.6 seconds behind because he just got back on the lead lap. Rick Mast almost got into the wall coming off that corner. So there goes Ernie Irvan. He's going to try to go around. The Bodine brothers are still battling for the 5th position. He gave his brother the bump. Not enough. Yeah, Jeff's trying to use the chrome horn to get around. Jeff Bodine, of course, maybe a little frustrated. He's blown his probably the best opportunity of his career to win a championship. Here he comes down to the inside of his brother Brett. Will he be able to take 2 positions here? He takes 1. Can he get around Mast? He'll take them both. So Jeff Bodine takes 2 positions in 1 corner and moves into the 4th position. Jeff Bodine, if he can win today, this will be the first time in his career that he's been able to achieve back-to-back victories. Kulwicki moving underneath the 18. Alan Kulwicki takes the lead. Man, Jeff Bodine is looking pretty fast now. Bodine will now move underneath the 18. Jeff Bodine now moves into the 2nd position. You know, I told you guys, as soon as this team figures out, as soon as this team wins a race, they're going to be on fire. I don't think that I was joking when I said that. This team, they won Martinsville, and now they want more. They're gonna be coming now. Here comes Jeff Bodine to the bottom. And Bodine, can he clear Kulwicki without JD McDuffie? He'll use McDuffie as a pick. And new leader, Jeff Bodine, lap 56. Some great battling going on right now for position. Boy, Ken Schrader, ever since losing the lead, he's really been falling off. Here comes Brett Bodine. He's going to take 5th away from him. Yeah, he really dropped like a rock. I was going to say, there are some wounded cars on this track. Jeff Bodine. He is taking off. Yes, he is, too. Holy crap, he is gone. Both of the Bodine brothers are inside of the top 5. Jeff is leading. Brett is in 5th. Brett hasn't exactly had the season that he's wanted, but he's still persevering. That team is still doing the best that they possibly can with the equipment that they got. Rick Mast in this 98 car for Travis Carter. He's done a stellar job all year. Another driver that's done a stellar job all year is Ernie Irvan. I don't think anybody envisioned Ernie Irvan doing as well as he did here in 1990, picking up 2 wins. I don't think anybody expected Irvan to do this. No one expected Irvan to do this. Meanwhile, since Bodine's taken the lead, he has taken off. He has checked out. In fact, he's turned the fastest lap of anyone all day long. 116.231 miles an hour. Nobody's keeping up with Jeff Bodine's pace. And he's 2 seconds ahead now, and that is basically going to be a death sentence on the field. The fact that he's 2 seconds ahead, and no one's going to reel him in. It's gonna take a wreck for anyone to reel in Jeff Bodine. They got that momentum. They got that win at Martinsville. And now they're just piling on momentum on top of momentum. And this is exactly what this Junior Johnson team needed. Although things didn't exactly go his way this season, Jeff Bodine at least trying to end 1990 on a high note. He will be returning with Junior Johnson in 1991. And he wants to stay with Junior Johnson for a while. He wants to stay on this 11 team. Like, this is the team he wants to be on. Well, I'm trying to go on back here to see if there's any really good battles for position, and right now I'm not seeing any. Everyone is pretty well spread out across the track. This is probably the best that we've got. 2nd through 6th here are pretty close to each other, but nobody's really battling for position. They're all pretty much in a line about equal lengths from each other. This is probably the closest that anyone is. Pit stops are going on. And they're all lapped. Well, not all of them, because certainly Marlin's on the lead lap. Leader Jeff Bodine goes down on a pit road. 2nd place, Alan Kulwicki on a pit road. New leader, number 4, Ernie Irvin. Irvin coming down pit road. Mass coming down pit road. There's Schrader. He comes out behind Phil Parsons. There's Brett Bodine. He was in 5th before the pit stops. I think he, along with Marlin, were among the first drivers to head down pit road. Here's the 11 of Jeff Bodine. Now, there's no way that he's the leader, because there's Brett there. Unless they're 1-2. No, because there's Derek Cope. Like, did they lose that much? Did pit stops really shuffle things up that much? Which Derek Cope's running in the 2nd position? Find out, coming to the stripe. Your leader is number 7, Alan Kulwicki. Oh, man. Jeff Bodine had a terrible pit stop. And that is going to take him out. That'll rob him of the shot of getting back-to-back wins for the first time in his career. Alan Kulwicki trying to put an exclamation point on this season. He has 5 wins to this point, looking to pick up win number 6 and the points lead as a consolation prize. He'll leave this race today with a 40 or 45 point lead, depending on if he leads the most laps. Rick Mast almost wiped out back there. I don't think he's going to lead the most laps. I think, well, here's the thing. Irvin's coming. Yeah, Irvin's coming up real quick. Irvin trying to pick up win number 3 on the season. Let's see what Irvin's able to do. Again, Ernie Irvin. You can see Rick Mast, he's also lurking in the shadows. Kyle Petty, he's looking to pick up a 4th place finish. Sterling Marlin, I think only trying to pick up only his 3rd top 5 of the year. Jeff Bodine is coming. Oh boy, he's all the way up in a 5th. So Jeff Bodine is coming. There goes Phil Parsons on the pit road. Watch that interval. Here he is. Holy crap, he is. He ain't gonna have time. Yeah. Even if he keeps on reeling in 0.2 of a second a lap, I don't think he's gonna have time to catch the 7. The pitch stop hamstringed him too much. And that time Kulwicki actually pulled away. Irvin having a miserable time with lap traffic. And that's only going to allow Kulwicki to pull away further. So right now, Alan Kulwicki trying to not just win this race, but also trying to gain the season points lead. He will do that by just finishing 9th or better. If I did my math correctly, he'll be leaving this race with a 45-point advantage on Bill Elliott. He wrecked on lap number 9 today. He ends up finishing 39th. It looked like that Irvin took a solid chunk out of the 7's lead there, but I think that's just an illusion. Lap traffic's just getting in the way. Laps to go, now 14 to go when we come to the line here. Alan Kulwicki, it's been smooth sailing for him. Jeff Bodine, thought he was going to probably win today. Definitely had the fastest car out of everyone still in the race. He's probably going to have to settle for 3rd today. Maybe even 4th. He might be able to catch him past Mast. I don't think he's catching Irvin, and he's definitely not catching Kulwicki. You can see on the scoreboard there in the top left-hand corner, there really aren't any battles to look at. Alan Kulwicki trying to put everyone up to 8th place, 1 lap down. That'd be quite impressive if he can pull that off. He's just got to do it. I don't think Kulwicki's going to really use up his stuff and pass Neil Bonnet unless he absolutely has to. Irvin is not coming fast enough to pass Kulwicki at this rate. Even if Kulwicki just sat in behind that 21 car for the rest of the race, Irvin's not coming fast enough. And Irvin can't even find a way around Chad Little. Chad Little was leading the race earlier. Just a handful of laps to go here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Your leader is who you see on the screen, Elliott and Kulwicki. A lot of people considered him a dark horse, contender for the championship. I don't think anybody could have foreseen what has happened this year with Elliott and Kulwicki. This is probably going to go down as one of the greatest anomalies in NASCAR history. Regardless if Kulwicki wins the title or not, this season will likely go down as one of the greatest anomalies in NASCAR history. Kulwicki's gonna have to survive 3 more laps to pick up win number 6 and top 10 number 20 on the season. If Elliott and Kulwicki finishes in the top 10 every single race from here on out, he will tie a record set by Tim Richmond in 1988 for the most amount of top 10s in a season with 24. Lap and a half left for Kulwicki. Rick Mast is reeling in the 4 car here. White flag. 1 lap to go. I don't think Mast is going to be able to compete with Irvin. They come down here through turns 3 and 4. Elliott and Kulwicki is the one that's able to survive. He will win the Tyson Holly Farms 400. As we'll see everyone cross the line in yet another race of attrition here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Only 26 cars end up passing the start and finish line at the end of this race. And there you have it. Elliott and Kulwicki 45 points ahead of Bill Elliott, and everyone else is pretty much in the dust. But look at the battle for third between Richmond, Bodine, Rudd, and Irvin. Only a very small amount of points separating those guys. Also a pretty good battle for points for 7th, 8th, and 9th. As it's pretty much a good points battle all around. Well, that will actually conclude the rest of the short tracks that we have for this season. We've only got 4 more races to go, and the next stop of the schedule is the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Mellow Yellow 500. We'll see you next time.